away from the DVD
Well,
stuff.
yeah, okay. I've started recording. We're laughing at dumb attempts at. We're laughing at dumb racism. So we
Yeah.
started with old Pat and Matt, which if you don't watch Super Best Friends, then fuck off. You're watching the wrong channel. We talk about it all the time.
Right.
But
Yeah. If not, what's wrong with you?
yeah, there must be something wrong with you. But
You yourself are probably a racist.
that's true. That's
Even
very
though
true.
out of the group of 4, only one of them is black, but you're still
Not
racist.
only is
You
the
don't like
one
him.
of them black, but the other 3 constantly within WrestleMania make racial jokes at his expense. The most egregious one will always be when they're playing WWF Attitude, and Matt calls every single black wrestler in the game Wooly.
Fully.
That is like, Jesus, you have to be in very good to get away with that.
Yeah. Which was the episode? I don't want to divert too much to take you away from your point, but which was the episode where he finally started speaking up about it and saying, "Guys, come on, enough."
Oh, I almost feel like it was a podcast. I don't think it was in an actual episode because that ruined the pace. The podcast is a bit more conversational, a bit more honest.
I see.
Where
Yeah,
I think it was at like one of those like send in your questions sort of episodes, and the question was, "Hey guys, is there any questions? There any jokes you've made on the show that made you genuinely uncomfortable?" And I'm sure Pat answered with like probably the jokes about his mom or something like that. Especially because, to my knowledge, Pat said that his mom actually did watch the Super Best Friends stuff, so she saw every single instance of Matt calling her like a fat cow.
Motion captured by Pat's mother.
Yeah, there you go. Motion captured by Pat's mother. Stated very quickly, like Matt had it planned, by the way.
Hey, well, I'm sure he did.
But, oh shit, what was it? Yeah, I believe Wooly's answer was, like, I can take a lot of the racial humor and I can give it back, but the one that he found... No, it wasn't... Wait, he might have said that, but I think the one that he said more specifically, the ones that have always bothered him, is when people make jokes of, like, Wooly's not black, Wooly's white, and just pretending to be black.
Oh, right.
He said that one, those ones really bother him because he has actually heard that from other black people all his life.
Yes, I can actually, in a way, kind of like indirectly relate to that. The stories I've told you about that boarding house that I lived in with all my weird, random, like cross section of friends.
Yeah.
One of them was a really nice, friendly black guy named Will, and at some point, somebody questioned whether Will had been raised by white people because he was so, I guess, friendly and not he didn't talk in like jive, street, ebonics,
Yeah.
etc., whatever you want to call it, and that really offended him because that implied to him that he wasn't black enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of that American Fiction movie I was telling you about a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, which sounds very funny. I still need to look into that.
Yeah. Well, I like that you and me both laughed hard at different ideas of book names. You laughed hard, like I was more or less in public when I was reading the synopsis of that movie. So how hard I had to stifle my laughter at the gag that he, in frustration at them rejecting his previous name, is like, you know what? I'm just gonna name the book Fuck. What do you think of that? And they're like, we'll take it. And he's just, like, I laughed so fucking hard at that. The sheer audacity of not only going with that and submitting it out of frustration, but the idea that the publishers are so stupid that they're gonna take it.
What was the one that he was upset by? Weez
Lives in the Ghetto
was
the book that made him so upset that he decided he was gonna write a parody. Which is pretty good. And the great thing is, if memory serves, it was written by an actual black author who was frustrated that he was repeatedly being told by publishers, you're not writing black enough.
I can believe that, yeah. I mean, it seems like that concept would have to have been born out of some kind of legit frustration.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I diverted course there a little bit. Go back to
backwards right. We're talking about Resident Evil 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the episode where they play Legends of WrestleMania, and one of them plays Kamala, who, being Kamala, goes out to the ring wearing not only already having the stereotypical quote unquote African tribal paint, which was made up by Jerry Lawler, by the way, on the spot.
Oh, it was?
Yes. The Kamala gimmick originated in Memphis, I believe the story is. And prior to that, he was Sugar Bear Harris.
Oh, right.
they wanted to give him the African tribal gimmick, which, knowing Jerry Lawler, he probably saw a movie where there was an savage African tribal, and he was like, that make a great wrestling gimmick. Puppies, boobies, I'm a pedophile. As
Yeah,
Lawler
the
was known to
genius
say,
guy. Yeah.
before Lawler lost all subtlety and just went, fuck it, I'm taking the guy directly from Mad Max, you're just Lord Humongous.
Right.
But either which way, so Sugar Bear Harris was turned into Kamala the Ugandan giant, and I assume told not to talk, otherwise it would betray the fact that the dude's American. But he started painting just whatever symbols he wanted on Kamala's chest because Lawler, credit where credit is due, he's a shitty human being, a shitty commentator, a shitty
He's a good
wrestler.
artist, though, yeah.
But he is a good artist. He should have been an artist. But
He really should have. It would have saved a lot of people a lot of stress.
Oh, yeah. But he starts drawing those symbols, the moon symbol and all that on Kamala's chest. And Sugar Bear Harris looks down and goes, are you drawing are you painting like a moon pie on my chest? And Jerry goes, no, Sugar Bear, it's a tribal moon. But either way, yeah, Kamala, who had the stereotypical Ugandan savage gimmick, because there's the 80s, he's in that Legend of WrestleMania game, so they're playing as him, and he makes his entrance, and he comes out not only with all that paint getup, but he's also got a big, stupid, stereotypical tribal mask, which really looks less like an African tribal mask and more like a stretched football with a face on it. But anyways,
It kind of does.
yeah, it always bothered me because they've left it in the W2K creation suite for years, and every time I see it, I'm like, why can I make my head a giant football? No, wait, that's Kamala mask. Can I weigh anchor? There's nothing on this island.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that we were still waiting on it. Yeah. Did you already,
I have weighed anchor.
We're heading towards a barrel. That's a good catch.
That is.
But yeah, go on.
But while this is going on, Pat looks at it and says, that is a Resident Evil 5 boss. And it cracked me up, not only because, like, it's just a silly observation about both WWE and Capcom being racist. And both of them, I would dare to say, more so insensitive than actively hateful, but still just ignorant.
Yeah.
And it cracked me up also because, yes, that is in fact the combination of 2 Resident Evil 5 mini-bosses into one character. Because in the city third of the game, you fight one of the Magini, that's a mini-boss, is just simply Fat Magini, who is a rotund black man, and video games being video games, his fat makes him more bulletproof, because that's how it works in real life.
It is.
And from the middle third of the game, which is the African wetlands, where you are fighting hordes of the most stereotypical African tribals imaginable, the mini-boss out there is a masked kind of, like, giant Magini. And they don't explain why he's giant. But he's, like, and he's very tall and long-legged, but he's wearing more or less the exact same getup as Kamala. Right down to the mask.
Oh, okay.
So Pat was just, like, dead on kind of right.
I'm assuming he must have been referencing that then specifically, the giant McGinney.
Yeah.
And not just accidentally, making a comparison. From the sounds of it, anyway.
Oh, hey, I got a new juice recipe. When the fuck did that happen?
I was gonna say, how'd you do that?
1 mango, 1 pineapple, 2 coconuts. Well, we're not swimming in those either, but we'll still put it up.
Sounds very tropical.
Oh wait, I put it on the stove. I shouldn't do that. Fix that. Yeah, put it on the juicer. There
wait, a stove? We have a stove?
You mean excuse me.
Cooking. Yeah, okay. No, it's
By
fine.
the way.
Yeah.
Give me just a second. Oh, I see you're starving. I'll wait until you get your shit set up.
Oh, that's alright. I'm, actually just more thirsty than anything. Yeah, go on.
So, boom, boom, and with this last one, the entire outer rim of the ship will be fortified.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you were talking about with the boom.
Boom.
It looks good, too.
Yeah.
All right.
This should now be more resistant to shark attacks, though considering that the fortified pieces have not been attacked by the shark yet, I'm wondering, do you think they had the balls to, between the time you played and now, buff the fortification so the shark just won't attack
just
it
doesn't
at all?
even come attack. Maybe. That'd sure be great.
It really would be, because holy shit, that would be a complete change.
Yes, it would. How long has it been since he attacked, actually? We were sitting there for a while.
Well, I think he's dead right now. I'm pretty sure I killed him a little bit ago, but he'll be back.
Yeah. Yes, he will. Actually, I think I might have seen him swim under just now.
That would be a freshly
Oh.
respawned shark.
I saw what I thought was a fin, but I'm not seeing him now, so I guess I might have been wrong.
Well, there's an easy
Hmm.
way to find out. Yes, he is respawned.
Okay. Wow, your character jumped out of water and then went flying over to the other. There's still a little desync there. You jumped out of water and like your character, while still leaping, went flying to the one corner of the raft that you were on just a minute ago.
So I gotta mention my favorite silly little thing in Payday is that when you're playing multiplayer, for some reason, the other player characters in multiplayer have inexplicably, like, gravity is much lighter for them on your end. For them, it's still, it's still normal gravity. But I remember distinctly there was a big spiral staircase we were at the top of. Me and Addie start running down the staircase like normal. Pink, being a jackass, is like, I'm gonna take the quick way. Jump straight down the center of the spiral staircase. And what I
Oh yeah,
see, I watch Pink falling in slow motion down the middle of it while the notification appears on my screen. Pink Sparkle Puff is down!
died. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Ah, man.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll get you into that. That's it. It really is a lot like GTA 5 heists, but without the rest of the game.
Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely play it at some point. No
Yeah.
question. I mean, I have it. You bought it for me a long time ago, and again, for the longest time, I confused it for Kane and Lynch.
Oh
And
boy.
yeah,
What
I
a
mean,
game
I
to get
didn't
it
even have
confused
any.
for.
Well, see, I didn't have any specific aversion to that game. It was just something that didn't really interest me, and I thought, well, maybe one of these days, I guess. I don't know. And then just I tended to forget about it, and then one of those things where it's like, well, I've got so many games or so many other things I'm doing right now, or whatever the case may have been, that I just thought, one of these days. And one of these days never came, but I'm seeing that you're really loving it. You and Eddie and Pink, from what I can tell. So
Yeah. It's good. It's a
I think
very good co-op game. It's a lot of fun to play with a team.
it sounds like it would be. Not to abruptly change subject, but you see, we're coming on another massive island here.
There we are.
Yeah. Good chance to look for middles.
That it
Sound like I said
is.
middles. Yeah, metals.
And I have two more of the nets for the net gun.
How many animals is going to be enough for you?
When it starts having consequences,
That's a good way of looking at it. I like that response.
I remember. I remember way back. Okay, there was a group of YouTubers that me, Addie, and Pink all grew up watching separately, which made it rather funny when we formed a trio. I was like, oh, we all grew up watching these guys? But anyways, they were playing Minecraft way back in 2010, 2011, before they added the ability to not only tame various animals, but also to breed them, right?
Yeah.
So, there was a mod they were playing with in this particular video where the animals the mod added animals and had the ability for them to breed with each other automatically. Not like Minecraft that we know and love, where you have to feed them to get them horny. No, they just do it on their own.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
So one of them was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna put two alpacas, or no, was it alpaca? Ah, fuck it, whatever. Let's say alpacas, and I'll put two alpacas in my basement, and I'll just go down there whenever I need whatever." And he forgets about it. And, they record for another, I don't know, it's not 10 or 12 or 13 episodes. And they're starting to be like, by that point, they're starting to be like, Jesus Christ, why is your frame rate around your house so low, dude? And he's just like, I don't know. And that goes on for another few episodes, with it steadily getting worse. As a matter of fact, getting multiplicatively worse. Where it's like, they get close to the guy's house, and it's dropping to 10 frames. And they're like, what the fuck is going on with your house? And then one of them happens to hear rapid vibrating noise somewhere. And they go, what the hell? And they are like, why is your house vibrating? Why does it sound like your house is vibrating more towards the lower end? And they go to this cave, this basement he had underneath his house. And it is honestly, you cannot see the floor. That the alpacas have just been having a constant orgy, producing more and more and more babies down there, where as soon as they broke open like the wall into the basement, they started to pour out like they were compressed in there and started to decompress and get covered
Which
in
is
a tide
probably
of
true.
alpacas. So one of them naturally, well, it drops their frame rate to sub 1 FPS. Like, they start getting 1 frame per 5 seconds, right? That bad,
Yeah,
right? So
sounds about
one of
right.
them is just like, oh, fuck this. Gets a lava, cheats in a lava bucket. And it is a horror as all of the animals are making noise at all times. And they're all being lit on fire at the same time by the lava bucket. And it was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen happen in a Let's Play.
I would imagine so. That's pretty great.
I do hear a boar. I need a new spear, but I'm also, my inventory is full of bullshit, so one thing at a time. Let's see, I can probably get enough to make the spear myself in just a moment.
Yeah, I've been waiting till sunrise to go on there in case I get attacked.
Let's see, shit, I need one more ingot, you fucker. Okay, there we go. I have a
Oh,
second,
oh, you got it. Okay, because I'm carrying some.
yeah, I've got a secondary spear here.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm gonna dump a whole bunch of stuff into the compactor, just because I, presumably, if I'm carrying it and not using it right now, then nobody's gonna need it. Oh, there, we don't have a battery in the compactor. The battery's out. I should fix that.
This time I'm not carrying one around.
Yeah, it hasn't been moved. It's just run out of juice.
I
Go
need
ahead.
to pause for a second here. I mean, I'll stay on, but this new phone has been apparently sending me a bunch of alerts. Let me look and see what this is all about.
Somebody's approaching your house right now. Hide!
That would be fucking terrifying.
He's
I do
coming!
not want
That's all
to.
the notification you get
Yeah,
is
just
he's
he's
coming!
coming. I imagine if it said he's coming and not even like run, hide, nothing. Just he's coming. It's like, well, from where? What do I do? Who is it?
Yeah.
How do I defend? Yeah, those answers are luxuries you cannot have.
One of those delightful ambiguous lines, like we were saying last time when Wooly or Pat was asked if you could give last words to fuck somebody up. I was holding them back.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, what does it mean? Very profound. Leave them with something that they'll wonder about the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Fuck them up for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Yeah, I have God, what game was it that I was doing this in? Actually, I think it was Dead by Daylight. Speak of the devil. People would sometimes leave like really stupid, like back in the day when it was more common for people to leave like salty messages or whatever, like "Yo, good game, idiot," that kind of thing. Which I guess that probably still happens, but I haven't seen that kind of thing in a long, long time. I haven't seen anyone do the
Anything who's
toxic
playing that game
behavior
now is
anymore.
committed.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, that's actually probably more true than we even realize. But when I would get messages like that, I wouldn't respond the typical way by saying like, "Oh yeah, well screw you too" or anything like that. I would just instead leave them with something very quizzical that would make them think and question themselves. I would say something yeah, but did you see that thing that happened 3 times? Think about it. Just like some weird thing like that. Just so they can be like, well, what did that mean? Just to get them a little bit, just to throw them off their game and think, well, wait a minute, what did that guy do? What happened? Did he do something I don't know about? You know, or just something equally, just randomly mysterious, like, the next time I see you, we're gonna do what just happened again, but next time it's gonna be reversed. Like what? What thing? What? Me winning? What the? Who are you? What are you talking about? You're not gonna see me again. What? Huh? Just like weird shit like that.
Yeah.
Again, instead of like, oh yeah, well you're a loser, you suck too. Stupid shit like that. You got to respond in a way that gives them the upper hand. And I'm a fan of that whole subconscious, and not subconscious, subtle upper hand. Back in the forum days, when you were at THQ, uh, some of the users would question like, well, Mike, why don't you get pissed off at people? Why don't sometimes people call you names or whatever, and they're I mean a lot of those people were younger and as age goes as age starts to as the numbers start to climb, you care a lot less about what people say you
Yeah.
think about you, whatever.
You
Yeah,
care less about people dissing you.
yeah, that is such a it always mystifies me that I'm still hearing about like seemingly adult rappers cutting diss tracks on other rappers. It's like you
At
like
this point, I have to wonder if it's just because it's a tradition.
I wanna, I would be happier to believe that, but I think that they really mean it. I remember I think it was like Kanye West and Jay Z or whoever the fuck it was. They were
Kanye
like,
West is mentally ill.
well, yes.
That
To be
man is
fair, he's
not
a
well.
bad example.
He
Yes.
probably needs to be institutionalized for his own
Yeah.
fucking health.
Yeah, that's actually not even a joke. Yes, it's pretty severe in his case. Having been said, though, it was the Kardashian connection. It was him and whoever it was that got with her next or first or whatever it was. They were making diss tracks at each other. Like really, you're fucking grown ass men, and you're insulting each other over this woman. Like fucking grow up. Like teenagers do this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I always
So
remember that
yeah,
Charlemagne the God or whatever his name was that
yeah,
was
that
on
god,
a
yeah.
talk show saying like, dude, I don't know what the fuck's up with Kanye. He called me in the middle of the night one night saying we need to save Kim. She's the he's something like relatively articulate, like she's the fucking Helen of our times or Helen of Troy of our times.
Oh
We need to
my
save her
god.
from Pete. What's his name? Pete whatever that got with Kim.
Oh, is it not Pete Rose? Obviously, that's WrestleMania.
No,
Pete.
he died a couple
I
days
know.
ago, but
Oh, did he really?
I think Pete Rose died a few days ago. I'll look it up.
Okay.
It might have been more than a
I
few
know who
days
you're
ago.
talking about though. The weird meth head looking albino guy, right?
Yeah,
Saturday
yeah.
Night Live. Yeah, it
Like
is
the guy,
Pete. Stump.
Charlemagne the God. Yeah. No, Pete Rose is still alive. Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, you weirdo.
Oh, you know what?
Casting
I got it mixed up. I just the other day found out that the general manager who was over the Pete Rose controversy and I guess made the call to fire him was Paul
Pete.
Giamatti's dad.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What an odd connection.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
But
Far
either
out.
way, what was it? Yeah, this guy Kanye was calling up this Charlemagne guy in the middle of the night saying, "We need to save him from Pete's dick, from his big monster white dick or something like that." And like he turned like incomprehensible, like fucking illegible for like. And the other guy that was on the talk show, Charlemagne the God was like going like, "What the fuck?" And Charlemagne the God was like saying like, "How do you think it was for me getting called in the middle of the night with all this shit being thrown at me?"
Fair response. That's what. Yeah, I mean that brings up two things, which is one the point I was going to make next, but also goes back to your point of yeah, I think Kanye West, beyond just being a complete laughingstock of a human being, is actually legitimately mentally troubled. He's got actual real issues that people should take seriously.
Yeah.
Like it went beyond the oh ha he's a shocker, he's into making people talk whatever, and then it went into well no he's just kind of really dumb, and now it's like no actually he's disturbed.
Not well.
Yeah, he's not well. um which yeah goes back to what I was saying about the people on the forum. Every now and then I'd have people saying like you handle it so well, why how do you handle this or whatever, and I said you know one of the things one thing that I really like, and I don't know if this is I don't know I guess some would say this is kind of like sociopathic whatever. I don't use it for ill, but I like allowing people to think that they've got the upper hand. I remember I think I said this to Rachel at one point. Like she, I knew for a while that after I was made into a mod, there was a little while, not long, like a week or two, or whatever, where somebody told me that yeah, she's on. I guess it would have been probably Twitter or Facebook. I think it was Facebook, and yeah, she's talking shit about you, saying, oh yeah, they just picked him because he's popular or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. He's not going to be a good mod. He's a brown nose or whatever. The typical kind of thing, and I just, I just spoke to her like, I just let her sit on that for a while. I didn't confront her for a while because I thought, well, yeah, let her go ahead and think about it for a while. Let her think she's got me or whatever.
Boy,
She's
does
talking
that
behind
make
my
sense in
back.
hindsight.
What part of it specifically?
That Rachel.
Uh, what aspect of it though? What do you mean?
It
That she
later
was
turned
back
out that
talking?
Vicious was apparently a decent. There's a good chance that Vicious was a persona that she had made up from the jump.
Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, God, that's one that I would honestly have to throw my hands up and say I legit don't know. I would not be
Teenagers.
surprised to. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I would not be surprised to know someone doing such a thing. Weird, backwards ass fucking scheming and you know manipulating all that kind of thing, especially for a teenage female. That's just how many of them are. That's part of their growing up process is getting out of that shit. But
When
if
you're a
so,
teenager, like, you know it's wrong, but at the same time, you do just kind of be like, man, drama is fun, though.
yes, that's just it. Yeah,
Shouting and arguing and all this is fun.
yeah. Well,
And,
I mean,
like,
that's
you
why.
know it's fucked up. That's the thing about being a teenager is you know it's fucked up. But
Well,
then, like,
that's
in the
secondary to the
moment, you're
fun.
like, man, this is cool. And then, 2 years later, you're like, that was stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I guess to her quote credit, she did later. Again, she told me at one point that she was really dumb, and yeah, most of the people I've talked to after the forum days, Joey included, were like, "Yeah, I was really dumb back then." And in
Oh, a
Joey's
lot of
case,
us were
I didn't.
teenagers.
Well, that's just it. That's what I said to Joey. I think and Rachel. It's like, well, you're young. I mean, I was doing some wacky shit when I was a kid too. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the case of her talking behind my back or whatever, I enjoyed knowing that she didn't know that I
Yeah.
knew. I found it fun to allow her to like to me it was a quiet victory. It's like you I think I just said this the other day to you regarding I no, I think it was with Pink. Something about again Dead by Daylight. Somebody won, and they were like laughing about something. And I was like, yeah, go ahead and it's you think that's what it was. We had a match where, as the killer often does, the killer brought me to a hatch, and they brought me to the hatch at the end of the match,
And
thinking
then
that they were
closed it
gonna
in front of your
right.
face.
Right, and Pink was there. He'd already died in the match, and so he's watching me as we're commenting together during the match. And the guy drops me near the hatch, but the killer still stays close to it. He's still like within a few feet of it. And I said Pink, and Pink like said basically the same thing to me at the same time. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's gonna close it. He's obviously gonna close it. But because of that, I then instead of going towards the hatch, crawling towards the hatch, I just crawled the other way. I just started crawling away from the hatch, and the guy picked me up, brought me back over, and put me near the hedge again. And I was like, "No, dude, I get it. I know what you're doing. Like I'm not going to allow you the satisfaction. I'm the winner here. Like you won the match, but I feel good knowing that I'm not playing your game. Like I
I'm not
enjoy the
putting over
fact.
your shit.
You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. I'm not putting over your shit. Yeah, it's just like I'm. You can win. You can think whatever you want. You can think that you got me, but no. Like I know what you're doing. Like you think that this is gonna be like, oh no, he shut the hatch. Oh, I didn't see that coming. So sooner or later, yeah, he brought me near the hatch and then did the whole thing where he like backed away from it a couple feet and swung his weapon at it like go there, take advantage of the hatch. I'm being a nice guy. And so as I say to Pink, I'm like, okay, let's get this over with. This is taking too long. I start crawling towards the hatch, and so of course he runs over and then shuts it. And I know that on that end of the computer he's thinking, "Oh, I got him! I got him! Yeah, what an idiot!" And it's just like I feel good knowing that person thinks that they got one over on me. I take satisfaction from knowing that somebody else thinks that they got me. Like that's just funny to me. It's like go ahead and think it. I take joy in knowing that you're an idiot.
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to quietly let you enjoy your little perceived victory. I mean, and to be fair, he did win. He won the match, but he didn't win the little psychological game. He thinks he did, and that just makes me feel good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe it's sociopathic. I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's I'm sure. See, if Ted were here, he'd be able to tell me what the word is.
Yeah.
He and I are into psychology, but I can't remember all the terms like he does. He's got a very good memory. Everyone has a better memory than I do.
Well, it depends, right? Because, like, here's the thing. You were saying, 95, 96, ooh, that'd have been the years where Jim Carrey was really dominant. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real here. I am much nearer in time to 2015 or 2016 than you are to 1995 or 96. But if you were to ask me, like, oh, what are the years where Chris Pratt was really dominant? I'd be like,
Yeah, do you think that's? I figure that's just more of an issue of I just happen to be following my interests. Whereas with you, and I think with most people, you can probably remember a lot of shit from college that you couldn't care less about.
well, no, I think I'm really bad about associating memories with specific periods and years and time.
you think so?
I think everybody's got their memory failings. For me, it's honestly like if you say like an event that happened, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then you ask me when did it happen, I'll go, oh fuck, I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, let me test it again. Throw out another year for me for the Oscars. What's the Best Picture winner from roughly 1967 to about 2012?
86.
86, 86, 86. Platoon.
Platoon. Ah, shit, that's an easy one. I
Is it?
know Platoon. I've watched Platoon.
I only saw it once in
I
2000.
should have gone with another year because the 80s has some awkward
Well,
ones.
pick another one. There's nothing saying you can't continue.
Oh, 82. But would that have been?
It was Gandhi, but go on.
Oh, it was Gandhi. Okay, well that's another decent one. I'm trying to think of like weird 80s winners, like Out of Africa or Kramer and Kramer.
85, 79.
Shit. Okay. Fuck. I was wrong about Kramer and Kramer being 80s.
Very close. I mean, right on the cusp.
What was that movie where Dustin Hoffman played a guy pretending to be a chick for Hollywood?
Let's see.
Tootsie. That's right. I may die. I died.
You died?
I did. Yeah, I was
Where are
caught
you?
in a choke point by a boar.
Okay. I will go search for your corpse. Let me grab some food really quick, and then
There's
I'll
an
go scratch
albatross
your
overhead
brain.
as well, so I don't know
He
if
just
I.
dropped a rock.
Yeah.
All right. Let me
I
just grab some food. I'm coming. I'm coming to get you. No man left behind.
I'm near like the mouth of a tunnel.
Okay. What direction did you start off when you got on the island? Did
So
you
I
head
did
left?
not go on the island at all. I went in the
Oh.
water and I. Okay, so go back to the boat.
All right.
Let me know when you're back to the boat.
Did I? Okay. Now, how the hell did I lose the boat? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm at the boat.
Okay, now face the island.
Facing it.
So where I am at is if you go right, you should eventually get to a part of on the island, the side of the island where there's a hole going in. If you swim up that
Okay.
hole, it'll lead you to the cave where I died.
So you walked around kind of like the quote mountain part of the island.
I did not walk on the island at all. I swam around it and I swam into that
Okay.
hole.
All right. I think I can avoid the shark enough to find you. I mean, you
If you
so
want to,
I mean, yeah.
if you
Go
want to
ahead.
make sure to avoid the shark, you can kind of like wall run on the side of the island.
That's what I was just doing.
Yeah.
And I'm in the cave.
Okay, if you get to the end where it opens up into the wide open sky, there will be a boar there and me. Do not bother fighting the boar. It is a choke point and it is nasty.
Gotcha. I see your ragged corpse.
All right.
All right.
Up there he is.
Haha. Fuck you, bud. It would be easier though to go. I won't fight him, but it'd be easier to traverse by going on land.
Yeah, if you can go around him. The only reason I didn't
Yeah.
want you to go over land to get to me to begin with was because I didn't know how to get to me from over land.
Yeah, that's understandable. Just a big circle. I think I'm looking right at the boat. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Easy enough rescue.
All right.
Yeah. And you'll be able to wake up in the new bedroom I was in the process of creating. I kind of didn't want anyone to see it yet. I wanted to add more to it, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, if I knew I was gonna die, I would have provided more
Whoops.
warning.
That's fine. I don't think we can usually expect it. Wait, that's right.
Sometimes you know you're starving or you know that you're not gonna make it to the ship before the shark bites you one more time. But like, this was very much a case of like suddenly like, I can deal with this boar. Oh shit, he can just loop endlessly with the charges in this small space. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's often how it goes. You get trapped into a spot where you just can't maneuver.
Yeah. And because
Oh,
it's such small space, he'll charge from one wall to the other in a second, and he'll be like, "Oh, well, now I can charge again."
yeah. All right.
And he's
Just
not
getting
like
some.
Hillbilly in Dead by Daylight. There's no, oh fuck, I missed. Now I need to sit here and look at the wall for an hour.
Well, now the hillbilly can basically do complete 180s.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, I was playing a match the other day. Pink was again playing the same match with me, and I was like, "What the fuck? Can he do this now?" Because I know they just updated him. They gave him some. They kind of reversed what his abilities are. He used to, if he used the chainsaw too much in too short a period, it would I can't remember the name for it, but it would like burn out
Well,
whatever. He'd
right,
have like
right.
a cooldown.
Overheat is
Yeah,
no longer a
yeah,
thing of you
yeah.
can't use the chainsaw. It's actually now a thing of using the chainsaw more equals better chainsaw.
Yes, which to me makes no sense. I get like kind of nerfing that restriction or whatever, but like rewarding you instead. That's kind of like too far in the opposite direction.
Like, to me, I will say, like, on some level, I get it, because, like, Billy felt like a M1 killer, but not like, the majority of when you say M1 killers, it's killers like, I don't know, who would be a good example of an M1 killer? Like, it
I
would
think
be
it means
like,
they have no like teleporting abilities. They have no like Doctor has like a power that can affect people that he's not necessarily like swinging at,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah, Doctor's a good example of an M1 killer. But, like, Billy felt like an M1 killer who didn't have any benefits to go to the side, right? Because
Yeah,
Doctor's an M1 killer, but he still pops the pulse to try and find people, or he throws sanity on people to get it so they can't hide.
yeah, yeah. He has a secondary ability. I mean, when it comes down to it, he's just gonna swing at you. He can't like as I said, like teleport or anything. But he can do other things. Whereas just
Freddy's
like
an
you said,
M1 killer.
Billy. Yeah, yeah. Freddy can teleport, but beyond that, he's just gonna walk up and hit you.
Yeah, and the teleporting, like, is not a offensive ability. It's a, wherever I am right now, there are no survivors. Let's move to another sector of the map real quickly. Move.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. His secondary ability does not inflict damage, which
Yeah.
is, I think, what they. That's the criteria, I believe.
Yeah, and like, Ring Girl, what's her name?
The
Sadako.
Anryo, Sadako.
Yeah. Like, those are all M1 killers, and they have pretty significant abilities to help them to hunt or to move. Billy, if it's a wide open map, you use solid for movement, but the longer the Dead by Daylight's development goes on, the more they tend away from open maps. Even the maps that are outdoors, they still tend to try and put a lot of looping stuff around that blocks Billy from being able to sprint from one side of the map to the other with ease, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. They've
So
they've
Billy just
now.
Billy just kind of felt like an artifact of the early days of the game's development, you know?
Well, which he was. I mean, he was number 2 of the original 3 killers.
Number 3,
I think it was. I
Trapper
thought
Wraith.
Wraith was number 3. Was it Trapper Wraith? I thought it
Wraith
was
was number
Trapper
2.
Billy Wraith. Okay.
Billy was number 3. Then number 4 was Nurse.
Hunter? No. Yeah, it was. I think it was Nurse then
Nurse was,
Huntress.
yeah, Nurse was free. Was it Huntress? Oh,
She
what?
was pretty early.
Huntress was pretty early. I guess, yeah, Huntress would have been free like Nurse. And then after that would have been the first DLC killer, which would have been Hag, right?
I think so.
Which, again, that looks silly in hindsight, because, like, now we're used to the DLC killers having absurd loads and loads of abilities and mechanics they need to keep track of. Hag is just,
Yeah.
place the Haglets. If they go off when somebody gets near, you can teleport to them.
Yes. I like that. I like that Pink's preferred nomenclature of Haglet has become official between our group.
Yeah, like, you could go with a more technical name of Rune Traps or Rune Decoys, but, like, I'm not gonna do that.
I don't actually know what they're called, to be honest. I don't think they call them clones, and that would be kind of incorrect anyway. I'll have to look that
Yeah.
up sometime. I don't know what they call them. But yeah, Billy's. When I was playing the match with Pink the other day, I was on Badham, the Freddy's realm, the school, the high school or whatever, and I was running along a fence, and Billy was about to rev up behind me. I had 6-8 feet, and I knew that it was going to be tight timing. I saw the opening in the fence line just in front of me, and I thought if I could make it to that opening, I'm going to then twist right around and go immediately 180 onto the other side of the fence, going in the opposite direction, do a complete U-turn. And Billy did the same. That's the best way I can put it. He followed me, chainsaw revving, and once he didn't follow me around and then hit me with the chainsaw. He started the chainsaw chase just as I rounded the fence line and turned around the fence line with me. And I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And yeah, that's just something you can do now, I guess. Maybe with
Used to be
add-ons,
he
I don't
had to
know.
have an add-on for that. By the way, are you cool if we weigh anchor?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
What made you? Did you already? This is a big island. Are you sure you don't want to? Like, did you do any reefing or?
I did a fair bit of reefing. Yeah, I covered pretty
Oh,
well
you
the
did.
entire. Yeah, I pretty well covered the entire outer rim of the island. We don't need to go shopping. The one animal I think we could find on this island I already caught.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's fine.
really, all that would be inland is trees, and we can get those on the small islands.
Yeah, that's fine.
Also, there's an albatross overhead, and I'm getting sick of him fucking bombarding us.
Yeah, that's also perfectly understandable.
Let's see, what was I working on? Right, I was cooking more stuff. I was cooking up more minerals.
Cooking up trouble.
Yes, that too. I mean, explosive power should be trouble, by all means.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh boy, but what was it I was gonna say? Like, yeah, that used to be a thing that Billy had to get add-ons to do, which I mean, I guess at a certain point, you almost wonder, like, fuck it, should they just make the put the add-ons on the character by default and get rid of the add-on system?
That's actually another thing that I happen to have been talking to Pink about very recently. We were playing a match, and something like that happened with maybe some other killer, and I found myself saying, "Okay, well, fuck." They give these killers powers. Like every killer has powers that have a certain disadvantage or disability or compensation to to make it more fair. Because well, God, if the power could do this, that, or the other, it would be completely uncounterable. And then they go and give every killer add-ons that completely do that thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or in
again,
the case of Michael, who doesn't really have that much of a downside to his ability, they're like, oh, let's just make it where you can insta-kill people.
yes, which God knows, Pink hates that quite a bit, but I don't know anyone who's a fan of it. I mean, I'll give the DVD community this: they complain about that constantly, which they should. But it's been 8 years, probably nothing gonna happen to them.
No, I see it sticking because at the end of the day, they probably see that as faithful to the character, right?
Which, that's what sucks is 'cause it is. He is, as somebody just said on the forum just yesterday, he's the most faithful killer in the entire game. Yeah, and that's because his power is completely horrible.
Yeah.
It sucks. If he stalks you for a little bit, then he could just straight up kill you.
Yep.
Period. And yep, that's about the most accurate it gets.
And like they
And
tried
it
to do the
sucks.
same thing for Sadako later, but like it's to such a degree that it rarely, if ever, actually gets used. Well, Michael,
Sadako's, yeah, yeah, Michael is usually, and this is why Pink hates him. Usually, when you're facing a Myers, there's a good chance it's going to be that type of Myers. I get a lot of people saying that because when I play Michael, as with most of the the killers, I prefer just to let the survivors live. I have fun just spooking them, getting my hooks, and letting them go. And there have been more than one survivor group who said, wow, we thought you were just totally gonna fuck us all up, and I hate Myers because that's what he does, and blah blah blah. So it was fun going against somebody who just played for the laughs. And it's like, yeah, I feel you, because that really sucks. Trying to play a game and have fun, and then just I happened to encounter the killer because somebody else allowed him to get his evil within by staring at them for a while, and now I'm being punished because he found me next. I did
yep,
nothing wrong. I'm just like working on a gen. Oh, hey, look, Michael's the killer. Oh, I'm dead.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I think
that
like,
is bullshit.
do you remember how we found out about Tombstone?
I don't actually.
We were playing private games, and Ted was there, and I remember I popped in Michael and I was looking at his add-ons and I saw Tombstone and I was like, there's no way. I throw it on, and as I'm casually walking down the hallways, you remember how Tombstone has to work in a specific way, right?
What do you mean?
You have to, like, I forget what it was. You need to be at super close range for it to work, but, that's more
Yeah,
generous.
you need to be within grabbing distance, basically.
So I just casually bump into Ted in the halls, and I didn't understand how it worked. I assumed when it said, oh, free Moris, I assumed that meant when they're down, you can press the Mori button regardless. I did not know it was if you're in the vicinity of anything so much as resembling a survivor, just slightly left click and it's a Mori. So I got jump scared as much as Ted did when I came around the corner into a crouching Ted, left clicked, and we both got jumped into the Mori animation. And it scared the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, I can
And
see
I
why it
think
would.
right then and there, as that happened, I was not only apologizing to Ted and saying, Ted, I didn't mean to do that, Ted. And Ted, Ted, takes shit in stride. He's like, it doesn't matter. I
Yeah,
was probably
whatever.
gonna lose any. Well, Ted would say like, I was probably gonna lose anyways.
Right.
But like, I was, and while that was going on, we were all saying, that's fucked up. That shouldn't be that way.
Yes. Right. Yes. Yeah. I I the next time I had a situation like that, I was playing as I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but I remember I was James, obviously from Silent Hill 2, and I'm working on a gen, and yeah, I had no idea in that match who the killer was. I'm just like doing my thing, and then eventually I hear the tune that alerts me to the fact that it's Michael. I'm like, oh, okay, well he's entered his evil within stage or whatever. He's if he catches me, he's gonna be able to one hit down me. That's bad. I want to make sure that he doesn't interact with me. I don't want that to happen. And I'm working on a gen. He comes around the corner or whatever, and I'm like, oh, there he is. Shit, I need to get up and run away to make sure he doesn't attack me. And no, he just grabs my shoulder and just lifts me up and stabs me, and I'm
Yep.
dead. Yeah, and it was like, I think I might have also been playing with Pick again then, because I remember shortly thereafter, or even as it was happening, I was like, what did I, how was he able to do that? Like I get it that he can like instantly more you if like these certain conditions are met, but like I hadn't even interacted with him at any point prior to the match. Just suddenly, hey, I'm there looking at the killer for the first time in the entire match, and now I'm already dead. Like, don't I have to go down first? Don't I have to be hooked once or anything like that? And it's like, nah, nah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
He
thought
just
when I was playing Tombstone Mine. Like, oh, I gotta down him first still, right?
right, because
How
that's the
naive
logic
we
of it.
were.
Yeah, yeah. That I mean, as you said, as others have said as well, it's like it's a shame that that's the most realistic, most whatever lore accurate killer. But you
And that,
know,
and that's why
eh,
none of us have really been interested in Friday the 13th multiplayer.
I really do wonder how they do that because the
They
Friday
don't.
the 13th game, I mean that's just it. I mean the Friday the 13th game was very lore accurate by making Freddy a completely deliberately overpowered character who can disappear and teleport, and just like fucking like walk up and pretty much kill you instantly if he gets his
Yeah.
hands on you. So yeah, how are they? Yeah, that's what happens in the movies. People in the movies don't like really, once he catches them, they're dead. People, Jason doesn't catch somebody and then they wiggle free and then get away and then like they're safe for the day and then they won't see him again until the next day. No, that doesn't happen. Jason sees you and he gets chased, and unless you're the final girl, you die.
Yep.
Usually very, very brutally.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
like, I guess that's one of those things where it needs to be said. Like, when you're making an adaptation of something, there comes a point where accuracy has to stop and gameplay has to kick in.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, you have to take creative license to work within the confines of the gameplay experience you're trying to deliver. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. They've apparently, and that's another interesting thing is that they just had a stream to coincide with the new characters release, the new, I guess specifically the new chapters release. And while I didn't see it, I saw people on the forum talking about. I visit the forum at least once a day. I like to see what's going on with the game. There's often like a in-game code that you can use to get like free items, stuff like that. And while I did not watch the stream, I read today, yesterday, whatever, that some people did, and they said that one of the developers was wearing a Friday the 13th shirt,
Oh,
and people,
Jesus.
yeah, and people were like, now to be fair, there have been multiple instances of them just straight up giving you clues and people noticing it, and it winds up being accurate, oh, Pinhead, for example, like it was. I don't even know how people figured this out, saw it, whatever. But they teased an upcoming chapter without saying what the chapter was going to be, no name, nothing. They just said something like, okay, well, whatever. Pretty soon there's going to be like a new event, not a new event, but whatever, like new stuff's coming, whatever. And they showed a picture of a. They showed a picture of the level that's got the map that has the little tiny small circus way in the back of it.
Yeah.
A couple of circus tents and a horse. Yeah, and the signage for that circus, it's there in the map. It's like not a new asset. There's a sign there saying whatever, like whatever. I can't remember, something whatever, something carnival, something circus, whatever. And the sign's always there. And in this photo, they're like, here, look, new stuff, DVD. If you start wondering, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody noticed this incredibly small detail that in this photo of that area in the game with nothing really out of place, nothing new. Somebody noticed that if you look really close on the sign talking about Joe Blow Carnival, there was a pin in it. There was a pin, a nail, whatever, in a conspicuous place in the sign that you otherwise wouldn't have known regardless was there unless you looked at it really close, which obviously people would be prone to do. And it would be one thing to say, "Oh, that's weird. There's like a nail or something in the side." Huh? Have I ever noticed that before? Nah, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Whatever. But no, like people jumped on it, and within like a day or two, everyone was convinced it was probably going to be Pinhead, and they were right because there was I guess a pin, like a literal pin, put in the fucking in the sign, and it's like fucking if they can do that little tiny thing and people can pick up on it, then either one of two things is happening. They're wearing a Friday the 13th shirt because they feel like they can, because that's so obvious that's not giving anything away because they're clearly not going to go ahead with it, or they are completely misjudging the abilities of the players to pick up on every little thing, and they are planning Friday the 13th, and they figure that, I don't know, like it would be so subtle that no one would notice that that's what they're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's. Well,
Like
I
they
for
have to
one
know
am.
what's going on. I mean, why would the developer wear Friday the 13th shirt like prominently featured in a stream that they want people to watch? I mean, like that's at the very least
We're
that's
on top of a
irresponsible.
pufferfish.
What's that? We're on top of a pufferfish?
We are.
I wonder if it can
I
actually
went
float up
down
with the
into the
tide
water. I
and get
saw it
us.
looking me eye to eye, and I went back.
Oh, be careful! You got a
Yeah,
shark
this
and
is
a
far
pufferfish
enough where he
down there.
shouldn't fuck with us. I'll kill him in a little bit, but yeah, that's. But either which way, yeah, I for one am really excited for them to finally add the killer I've been waiting for, and this shirt really confirms it. They are finally adding Mrs. Voorhees.
Ah, that would, I don't know how. Well, I do know how people would react. They'd be very pissed off. But at the same time, though, I don't know. Mrs. Voorhees would be a pretty cool killer.
She would, and it'd be something more different than Jason.
It would. You know, that could actually be really cool. Like they would have to be honest and straightforward with the fans. They would have to, like, if they teased Friday the 13th and pulled off Pamela Voorhees, that would make everybody, they'd burn their monitors. But if they got the license and said, "Okay, folks, we're going to do this differently. We're going to be upfront because if we tease this, you'd be upset. So here's the deal: we got the Friday the 13th license, but it's going to be very tricky. The rights are held up, which they are. Like Friday the
Yeah.
13th and Jason himself are two separate entities, which is ridiculous. But that's how the rights got entangled and blah 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 blah. If they said, okay, we tried our best. Right now, it's too complicated to get Jason, but we were able to get Pamela. So look forward to at least Mrs. Voorhees as a new killer. We'll try and work in some Friday the 13th lore. Try and do the best we can. But hey, for now, that's gonna
Dead
be it.
shark.
And all right, excellent. That didn't take too long. As per usual, you become quite the shark killer.
Yep. They fear
Yeah,
me.
they might. That's why they target you. They don't target you out of aggression. They target you because they're afraid that if they don't, their own survival is at stake. Ironically,
They gotta get me before I get the rest of them.
that's or apparently the one that keeps respawning, which really kind of silly on his part at this point.
He's a hero to all shark kind. He's
The
not
others
been
are
successful
hiding.
yet, but they respect him for trying.
When is the last time a shark killed us? It
Ooh,
would
it's
have
been a
been me, I'm
while.
sure. It has. It's been a minute.
But yeah, I mean, hell, if they obviously it'd be Jason. They wouldn't do Pamela because even if they did explain it, you could explain all kinds of shit to all kinds of people, and they'll still be like, "But I'm still mad though. I want Jason."
Yeah, that is true.
But like, could you imagine if alongside Jason? Well, you remember when they introduced Pyramid Head, they added the fucking Silent Hill, uh, bunny mascot costume for Legion, right?
I forgot about that. I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah.
Could you imagine if they added like a Pamela skin for Legion? Because they're probably the best ones for her. Oh shit, I forgot about the pufferfish. Fuck!
How could you have forgotten already?
I'm dumb. Okay, I'm gonna have to just fight him.
Let me know how it goes.
He'll be dead with the next arrow.
Okay.
Dead.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Intermediate poison puffer hunter.
Intermediate poison puffer hunter?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
that's an
achievement.
achievement. Oh, okay.
I got the
Well, that's
explosive
pretty
goo.
cool. Did you say you got exclusive goo? Is that what you said?
I got the explosive goo, but I'd
The
also be happy with
explosive.
exclusive glue.
I mean, it would have to be exclusive. That's a that's a pretty prominent achievement that you got.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. They yeah, again, as some people were saying on the forum, they wouldn't this is clearly, somebody made the good point that they said that not too long ago. I don't know how long ago that means, but at some point, I guess the devs did in fact say what I was saying, which is that yeah, the rights are way too complicated right now. Well, whatever, it's probably not going to happen, at least in the near future. So if that is the case, that sounds direct enough to not be a mislead. Um, and somebody else also pointed out that I guess somebody else on the stream had like I don't know, like some other kind of horror themed hat, like a cap on or something like that. And so they said, well, yeah, I mean, these guys are big horror fans. They're going to wear those outfits from time to time, whatever, which is reasonable. But at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, one of two things: either they dress like that all the time, and so they're just not thinking to switch it up to not give misleads during the stream, or they just threw it on and just didn't even stop to think about the consequences of possibly misleading people into a frenzy because they didn't stop to think, oh man, maybe I shouldn't choose to wear this today.
And
What
on
bad
top of that,
timing.
the social media manager didn't stop them like, hey, change your shirt.
Right. I mean, these people seem way too on top of their game, no pun intended, to not notice. Like at no point are they going to sit down. They get the camera set up. Okay, let's sit right here. Put the lighting over there, without somebody saying, "Oh shit, Joe, you have a fucking like totally horror themed shirt on. That's going to get the fans really talking. You might want to turn that turn that inside out or something." No,
Yeah.
no, that they know full well when they're going to record the stream that someone's going to say something. So again, to me, that's either like irresponsible, and that they're gonna be like, ah, fuck it, I don't care, I don't feel like changing. Let them talk, let them get their hopes up, whatever. Or, on the other hand, maybe it's a subtle, well, not so subtle clue.
Yeah.
Can't say, don't know. He's the last big one that's missing. They said that they will not do horror characters based on real life murders, which is not perfectly fine with that. That would be
My
really
God, could
kind
you
of.
imagine?
Yeah, that'd be weird. I mean, even if it's a killer, it's long dead. Like I don't know, Gacy, Dahmer, whatever. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure the victims' families would love hearing that their characters have been like, yeah, you could pay to play as Jeffrey Dahmer and kill people. Yeah, that's great.
Imagine the
Nothing
statement of
harmful
someone
about that.
saying, I mean Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Um, They've also said that they haven't specified stuff like Five Nights at Freddy's, but they've said that they're trying to be careful about horror licenses that don't really fit with WWE, like WWE.
WWE!
Where the hell did that come from? Wrong
Undertaker.
acronym. Yeah, yeah, he would work more than I think a lot of characters would. Yeah, yeah. Bray
Imagine if
Wyatt would
the
fit.
Imagine if they do announce like the next one's gonna be a licensed character. Get ready, y'all, and they announce it. Ginger snaps.
I, that would be really, really out of left field. I can't imagine. I heard it was good, but I can't imagine anyone's out there saying, "Oh man, fingers crossed for Ginger Snaps. Please let this be the year." That's the one about werewolves, isn't it?
It's the one where the chick's a werewolf and the werewolf is like a reference to puberty or something.
Yes, yeah. Which I heard was good. I don't know. They made a couple of them. The girl
She
who's
went through
the
puberty
main.
again, huh?
I don't actually know now that you mention it how they went about that. Yeah, I don't know. I do know, and again, this is some of my pointless trivia. The girl that plays, I think the one, I don't know if she's the main character. I would assume so, but I don't know. She's the one who's the werewolf, at least. The girl who plays the werewolf in Ginger Snaps was the girl who played Beverly Marsh in the TV miniseries version of Stephen King's It.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of the second central character of that story, and that was the girl.
yeah, yeah. I've seen the movies.
Yeah, I don't. Do we ever discuss how you felt about them? I don't know why we wouldn't have,
Uh,
but if so, I don't recall. Like, I don't recall anything.
yeah. I'm not sure. I think we discussed it a little bit, but not too much because like generally the like interesting point to talk there is comparing the movies to the miniseries, and I've not seen the miniseries.
Oh, you said the movie, so I thought you meant also the miniseries. You meant the two modern films. I see.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, makes sense. The miniseries is worth seeing, although having seen the theatrical version first, I don't know how that would skew your your opinion?
I've seen a couple scenes of Tim Curry. Like it
Oh, Tim
from
Curry
what.
was great.
Yeah. Like what I was going to say is based off the scenes I've seen of Tim Curry's Pennywise. Like it's both are valid interpretations of the characters, but wildly different, right?
Yeah,
Like Bill
yeah,
Skarsgård's Pennywise is a like feral fucking animal that is barely trying to maintain the visage of being a clown. Tim
that's true.
Curry, like Tim Curry's is a sadist who like is not so much a fucking wild animal as he is like he chooses to eat children because it gives him sick kicks to eat stuff he's not supposed to, right?
Yeah, basically yes, yeah. It's a Lovecraftian being that loves to. It feeds off of fear, and children are the best meals because they have the most fear. They're the most easily frightened.
Yeah,
And yeah, cinematic version, the Skarsgård version, was basically aggression, whereas Tim Curry was, I would say, manipulation.
yeah,
Both valid takes, which is interesting. They're somewhat different, but they share some common threads.
yeah,
And it's a shame because the theatrical version was really good. I definitely stand by it. It's weird that the first one was like a major pop culture milestone. I mean, like everyone in the industry was like astonished that that movie did as well as it did. Like they like box office predictors, which are usually really accurate. Like they're usually within just a couple million of their guesses almost every single weekend. They were predicting like whatever, like, oh yeah, it looks like it's gonna open with like whatever, like 45, 55 million. Then it was like, oh shit, okay, well, the early preview screenings or whatever suggesting maybe it'll open at 75 million or whatever. It opened to like I think like 120 million or something like that opening weekend. Yeah, that might actually be a low estimate. I think it was like maybe 120, 140, something like that. And everyone was like, what the wow, where did this fucking come from? And I can't speak for that audience because while I was a part of it, I was not of the age that a lot of people were who were watching the trailer and getting all freaked out and stuff like that. It seemed to be a big cornerstone moment for a lot of people of the age of the main characters. I
yeah,
think. As the 1990, the TV version was for me. I was the exact age of the kids in 1990 that were portrayed in that one. Whereas in this one, obviously it was based in the 80s, but the kids were all modern actors who are about, teenage years. So from what I can tell, the YouTube crowd, the Facebook crowd, that kind of, all those people
yeah,
were like really into sharing this event. And because of that, the first movie opened really big. As I said, it made it finished with like 300 plus million, which is insane, insane for a horror movie.
yeah,
And then where I'm going with this is that the second one made, oof, it was kind of cooled off. I would say the second one finished with like maybe 200 million, something like that. It was. I don't want to say a tepid response, but it's definitely it was a pretty big audience drop off for the second one, and I just found that interesting that the first one was again like this big kind of cultural event, and it just seems like people were kind of satisfied with okay, well, I was part of it, I saw it. This one was all about the kids that are my age. The second one's all about them as grown-ups. I'm not really all that interested. Blah blah blah. I don't know.
isn't that kind
I
of
don't know.
always how people react to it though? Is the people are always more interested in the kid half?
Yes, yeah, it's always been a common uh, opinion, and one I also happen to agree with that the kids chapter is more interesting, more well written, more fleshed out, more character driven. The second one is essentially like, okay, well now that we're adults, we have to essentially do the same thing we did as kids, but
But we
now
forgot how.
yeah, we forgot how. Yeah, I mean, which the book leans into that a little bit more. Like that's part of the influence over it. Like it
That's
controls the town. Like everyone forgets.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that the movies keep missing out. The movie and the
Yeah.
series kind of miss out on, right? Is the cosmic aspect because
Oh yeah.
cosmic horror has a serious trouble fitting into visual mediums.
Yes, yeah. The miniseries did a good job of tapping. There are actually very conspicuous scenes highlighting specifically that wow, the people in this town seem to be ignorant of the fact that these horrible things are happening. They're just kind of looking the other way. Why is this? Why are the adults just like totally not like they're oblivious to all these children getting murdered? Like what the fuck? But they completely, largely ignore the cosmic aspect. Whereas the movie leaned in heavily as they should have on the cosmic aspect. They actually like explicitly say, okay, well, this is a thing that came down from the heavens, 200 years ago, whatever. But they don't really get that into the idea that
How it
that
affects the
is
town.
right. Yeah, they kind of overlook the whole evil influence over like the it manifests in people kind of forgetting and being hypnotized and so forth. They don't
Well,
really play up
doesn't.
that too much.
Well, hang on. Doesn't. Isn't it one of the major changes the movie made with part two? If memory serves, in the book, the gay couple are murdered because Pennywise is influencing Derry to be more hateful.
If I
But
recall correctly, yeah, I
in the
think so.
movie, Pennywise just does it himself. He just kills the gay couple outright himself.
Uh, yes, I'm trying to think how that plays out in the book because that's actually the very first chapter of the books. No, no, it's either the first chapter or the second chapter. Fuck, I can't remember. I want to say the book opens with Bill and his little brother, getting his arm ripped off and so forth. But then if
Yeah.
that's the case, then the very next chapter is the gay couple.
Yeah.
And one of them, I think the guy gets thrown off of a bridge, if I recall correctly. He gets beaten and thrown off a bridge, and the cops are just kind of like, whatever, they're gay guys, who cares? I don't think it's ever explicit that Pennywise did it, but I think it's like one of the guys, like I think the gay couple the gay partner who survived, I think, like saw glimpses of what he thought was a clown. If I recall
Yeah.
correctly, it's subtly implied that hey, there was something weird going on. But yeah, it's not like yeah, a clown jumped out and ate the guy's head. Like no, 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 nothing like that.
Yeah,
Nothing. I
yeah. In the movie, he looks down and he sees Pennywise already eating the guy's insides.
yes, yes, he does. Yeah, he actually waves to the guy with his gay partner's hand rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, which made for cool. I find the movies like a really good yet nonetheless frustrating missed opportunity because it was revolutionary. Maybe not revolutionary, but it was very surprising at the release to me that they even addressed the whole gay thing at all. Because the
Yeah.
miniseries, understandably, yeah, they avoided that completely. However, contrarily, the miniseries did focus on the fact that the thug, wannabe serial killer Henry Bowers was racist and openly used the N word against the black member of the Losers Club, Mike.
Yeah.
Whereas in the fucking the R-rated theatrical cut, they avoided that altogether. There's
Yeah.
no even hint of the N word. Like at worst, they have Henry Bowers say something to Mike like, "Get out of
There,
my town, you!" Just like we
there.
don't like you here.
I will say, in fairness, setting the first part, the kid part of it in the 80s instead of the 50s, the 80s were not nearly as racist as the 50s.
That's a good observation. That's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that aspect. You're right. Yeah, you're very right.
Like in the 50s, yeah, that would have happened all over the South, maybe less so up in Maine, but definitely
Yeah,
all over the South where, like, by the 50s, lynching was at its fucking peak.
right.
80s, I mean, obviously you lived through it, but, I read history books.
And not a whole lot of well, there's still a lot of racial crime and stuff like that. But yeah, like as far as like the public lynching, the large like cultural
When it's
hatred
done
for
now,
black
it's not to a
people.
crowd of cheering, fucking, like, adulating crowd of, like, yeah, you're fixing
Yes,
society.
yeah, that's very true. Yes. The other thing, and everyone says this, I personally think it's valid. I do not like that they left out the Beverly sex scene in the movie,
I,
because
I, I
hang on,
100% am behind that.
no, 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 let me finish though. Uh, conceptually, yes, I'm with you. It's kind of horrific, but in the book, and I know why they left it out. Clearly, it speaks for itself. It does not even have to be explained why they left it out. But in the book, it is a spiritual, innocent, like the kids are in the sewers and they're lost and they're terrified and they're starting to give into their fear. Beverly just she shows them affection in the only way she knows how. She tries to unite them all, like by by doing what just feels natural to her. They're going through puberty, whatever, it makes sense. It's not, to my memory at least, it's not like, oh, and then I fucked that one, and oh man, it was so good, and blah blah blah. I don't think it was like that. To my memory, it wasn't. I feel like here's how I feel. I feel that in an R-rated modern movie that respects its audience, it could have been handled in a let's say more mature way than the book did. It could be at least implied. Maybe Beverly, for example, just like like softly hugs and kisses each member of the losers club to kind of calm them down, something like that. Even she doesn't have
Yeah.
to necessarily fuck them all, but she could have done something to show that she's this, because she's really kind of like the hidden centerpiece of the story. She's kind of in a way the main character.
The first
And
movie definitely felt like that. The second movie,
yes,
The second
she's
movie's
she's kind of a she kind of falls by the wayside in the second movie. The second movie is Bill's story, really.
Yeah, Bills in the movies they made it a little bit more Richie, since with Richie they went full blown on the
They went
Richie's gay.
hard with Richie. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which I forget. Didn't the book also imply Richie was gay? They just never doubled down on it.
If they did, my memory is that it was subtle. Like I don't think it's been a long time since I read the book, and I never read it all the way through cover to cover in one sitting. My memory is that there were clues that you can pick up on. I don't think that they were overt. I don't think the movie just straight up invented that. Like I don't think that was just straight up. Oh yeah,
Mm,
hey, let's just fashionably make the character gay. I think there was enough there that they could have worked with it, but I don't think that it was. I don't think, to my memory, it was never
Eddie's
kind
gay
of
for
like
Eddie. Oh, Eddie's
confirmed.
dead.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, to my whoops, shrug. um, to my memory, and I could be confusing this with some of the details of the movie, because I only read the book around like the movie inspired me to read the book, so it's kind of hard for me to separate some of the memories. I think that Eddie's issue was that he was very shy and like kind of like whatever, like emotionally vulnerable and very kind of like stunted growth because he had the overbearing mother and stuff like that. I don't think it was necessarily that he had like a hidden crush on Richie. I think it was just that he I think that he was like sad that he
Wasn't it the other
like
way? Wasn't it that Richie had a hidden crush on Eddie?
I
Which is
that I
why
don't
Richie was
remember.
such a huge smartass.
I don't know, actually. That's one I'm not sure.
The
I'm actually a
movie
little bit
goes with
gray
it
on a
being the
lot of
other
this, but
way, because like
yeah.
Richie never gets to tell Eddie before Pennywise kills him.
Right, right. So I don't know if the movie just added that because it's like nice pathos, or if it was actually like part of the book. I do not recall. My memory was that Eddie was just kind of like a. I don't think his
I forget, did
how
Eddie
gay was.
die in the book?
Yeah, Eddie died.
Oh, I forgot that. I thought that they
Okay. I
added Eddie
think
dying
now
in the
you've got me.
movie.
No, no. I'm almost positive that Eddie dies. I think the only ones that live are, I know, obviously Bill lives for sure.
Well, no,
Beverly
I
lives for sure. Mike
well they
lives.
the
Yeah, go ahead.
Jewish one dies for certain because I know he for
Yes,
certain always
absolutely. He
dies because
kills himself.
he's the one that kills himself rather than go back to fight Pennywise.
Yeah, he's kind
But
of like the weak link.
I could have swore that in the book he's the only one.
No, no. God, I say that with such conviction that it sounds as if a bunch of them die. But no, actually, yeah, I think other than Stan, that's the Jewish one. I think it was just Stan and Eddie. I think everyone else lives.
I'm gonna pull it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah. I'm almost 100% positive that Eddie dies. I
Oh, you
wager
know
money.
what? And since they cut out the racism, that means that it's not, oh, what's his face? Oh shit, the
Ben, Mike,
uh
Mike is
Mike.
black one.
Yeah, Mike's not the one who gets the final face off and kills the bully. It's Richie that kills the bully in the movie.
Yes, yeah. In the if I recall correctly, in the book, there's like a struggle, and Mike is stabbed. He does get injured, and then I think because of that, he has to hold back. He can't like the losers. The
Yeah, it
connection
doesn't.
between the losers club is weakened further because of that. Are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm looking up if
Oh,
Eddie
okay,
died.
that's fine. Yeah, take your time. I just don't know if you got cut off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Eddie did
I
die.
would wager. Yeah, I was gonna say I would wager money that he died. I was almost positive that he died.
Yeah, and Mike, of course, Mike isn't the one that takes down the bully in that version. In the movie version, Richie is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go.
For some reason, I will never understand this unless they come right out and give a good explanation. Mike was heavily minimized in the movies. He was the one who was the town researcher. He was the
Yeah,
one who found out all about and though the movie does kind of correct that a little bit by having Mike correctly go to Bill and say, "Hey, Bill, I found out about the history of this creature. Blah 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 blah. We need to tackle it, whatever." Nonetheless, in the first movie, the little fat kid Ben, they have him being like the one who's all interested in town history. No, that was Mike's role. Why'd they take
Yeah.
it away from Mike and give it to Ben? That already had a whole story arc. He had the thing about having a crush on Beverly. Like, he's already got his own stuff going on.
What I always found funny was why was adult Mike played by the dude from the fucking like Old Spice commercials?
Was he?
Yes.
I not the not like the. I have to go.
If your
Surely
man
not.
could be my me man or whatever,
Right.
that guy.
That was him.
Yes. Yeah, hang
Are
on,
you
let me look it
sure?
up. I'm
I
almost
never picked up
certain.
on that.
Not Terry Crews, but the other one.
No. Yeah,
Well,
I know.
yeah, you
Yeah, the one
definitely
who's
know it's
riding the
Terry
horse.
Crews.
Yeah. I've
Imagine that.
changed, fellow losers.
What? Could you
Let's go
imagine?
kick Pennywise ass.
Like, fucking explosive, like impossible to intimidate Terry Crews up against it.
That'd be that'd be pretty impressive.
Yes, yes, yeah, it was fucking Old
Wow.
Spice, the man your man could smell like, was also
Yeah,
Isaiah Mustafa. That's his real life name.
I never knew that. Some that slipped right past me. That's very interesting. I'll have to see it again now with that knowledge. I do know this. I don't know how much sway they were given, but I saw an interview with the kids in between the two movies when they wanted to make sure the first was a success before they filmed the second one. And once it was becoming clear that it was a success, and they probably would make a second one, the kids were actually sat down for an interview, and they're like, "Hey, what did you think about the movie? Blah blah blah. Hey, what do you like? What don't you like? Blah blah blah. What's it like being a kid, etc." And then they were asked, if you can pick anyone to play your adult self, who would you pick? And I think, if not, oh, I died.
What the fuck?
Okay, well, I was walking slow. I was starving and I was walking slow, so one of the fucking albatrosses probably got me. The same way I almost got killed in the last time.
Where were you? Where are you?
That's a. I feel like I was on the other damn side of the island, to be honest. I'm
Other.
right by the shoreline, like I'm between where the shore connects to the island. I just don't know
Okay,
what
when
side of
you
the island
say
that's on.
island,
Yeah, the giant, large peninsula that we're.
okay, so
Yeah, just
hang on. Did you happen to die with one of the radars on your body? One of the radar fucking dishes on your body?
yes.
Okay. Uh, that's bad. I thought you were on the raft.
No.
I'm turning the raft around. I'm going to try and get to the island and hoping that it is straight in reverse.
What? Would you sail away? You thought I was on the
Yes, I
boat?
thought I saw you on the boat. I was like, okay, well, we're good to weigh anchor and go away, I
Wait,
guess.
you saw me on the boat? I haven't been on the boat in 15 minutes.
The fuck?
Yeah, someone made a big mistake. I guess we were so wrapped up in our conversation, we didn't realize that the other person was having a whole different lifestyle, doing their own thing, playing a whole different game.
The
There's
waters
no
are
time limit.
completely
You'll find me
still.
sooner or later. It's fine. Take your time. It's actually kind of funny. I'm on the shore. Like I'm literally right on the shore, but it's not really quite so beachy. It's more kind of rocky a little bit. I was kind of like doing one of those sort of like hop along the the rocky ridge. There was like a little bit of kind of beachish, a little bit rocky. It wasn't. Yeah, you'll find
Yeah.
me I know it's not easy to circle around the island, but yeah, you'll. I believe you'll find me. Um, as
Now
you
I'm trying to
look,
think back. What the fuck happened?
I know that like I had just successfully killed a boar and I was going to eat its meat. I was starting to get hungry and I thought, okay, well there's a boar right here. It's fine. I'm in the water. Like I'm looking right at him. I can stab him and he can't get me. And that's in fact what happened. I stabbed him. Okay, good, cool. He's dead. I then went to go harvest his carcass, but one of two things or both happened. His carcass started to sink because, like I said, it was right at the water line. It started to sink, and I thought, "Oh fuck! Okay, well this happened to me last time. I killed him at the water line, and I wasn't able to harvest the meat. Well, that sucks because I'm hungry enough to start walking very slowly, and so either like regardless, I'm sitting there trying to harvest him for just like a second or two, and then suddenly it says you're dead." And I can only assume because I wasn't so starving that I just would have just dropped dead. Like my health was low and I was starving, but I was going to harvest the meat. And so either as I was trying to harvest the meat, I lost track of how long it was taking and I just passed out dead. Or and I know there was one nearby, and albatross dropped a fucking rock on my head. One of the two.
Jesus. Oh boy, we
Yeah, it was
are.
very sudden. But then again, I didn't know you were. That's funny too because as I was walking around the island, I thought to myself a couple times, "Huh, I wonder where the raft is. That's weird. Thought it was over here. Oh well, wrong direction. I'll find it." You, I mean,
Fucking Old Spice guy has smote us for me dishonoring his
we
name by
mentioned his
saying it was
name.
weird for him to be in it.
Well, you have a whole little adventure you can embark on. You can look for my body.
Apparently, yeah. Right now the water is so still I'm having to fucking paddle to get unstuck off this fucking small island.
How long were you? At what point in our conversation do you recall for sure you were on the boat? Like, what's the earliest part of the conversation you remember for sure being on the raft and sailing away?
Oh, it wasn't too long after you brought me back.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I looked back and you were on the raft and I was like, okay, well, we're good to go because
I
I've
think that
covered the
was
entire.
basically
I remember I was saying, like, oh, well, let's go ahead and weigh anchor. This island. I've got the coral reef and I don't think there's going to be anything on the land that we want.
either I didn't hear that or it didn't factor or you didn't hear me saying I'm hopping back on or there was obviously some miscommunication there. I don't
I
have
gotta
a
say,
lot of
I got right now at this moment, I'm going like, oh, thank God I actually bought this compass. Because with no
is it
radar,
helping
this
right
is
now.
my best way at trying to figure out where the hell the island was that we were at.
But do we know though? I mean, based on like, did you know? I
No, I
mean,
don't know, but I'm going to have to just guess, dude. If you, the third radar dish is in your pocket. Maybe
I
I can
know
try. Hang on, let me see if I can make a new one. Good fucking lord.
it's actually not a bad idea. I mean, mine's technically not connected.
Hang on, hang on. Can I
And that's
make?
funny. The only reason it's in my pocket is because when I went to move them earlier, and remember I put them in one spot, and you were like, "Oh, they're too close together." And I said, "Well, I kind of moved them temporarily because of putting up the palm trees." Once I put up the palm trees, I then grabbed one of the radars, thinking, "Okay, well, now I can move it over somewhere else at some point." And I was waiting to ask you where I think we should put them, and I just didn't. It just didn't come up. It didn't come up yet for me to say, "Okay, hey, where do you think should it go over here? Should it go over there? How close do they need to be?" So yeah, I incidentally picked it up when I didn't really need to, planning for the future that was never to be.
Okay, I'm turning on the radar. Oh shit.
Cool.
Hang on. Apparently the antennas can't be at differing altitudes.
Really? Where was?
Okay, I've turned it back towards the island that I think would be the most recent one we visited.
Probably the biggest one that's on your radar, I would assume. I don't think that they're usually that big that close. I would assume that whatever biggest one you see is probably the whatever the closest one, biggest whatever. I'm sure you'll find it'll be fine.
Yeah.
My corpse is able to see the sky, the color of the sky change. That's interesting. It went from very dark and hard to see, that now it seems like it's daytime.
Jesus Christ, we had Saving Private Pink, this is Saving Private Mike.
See, this game needs a spawn point marker or a death point marker.
It
We
does.
need to, yeah. We I don't see why in this game we do not have the ability to make a little paper sketch map and walk around and put down what's on it, and then get the compass to say that's where it is. That's where the guy died, or that's where a point of interest is.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's see, get another soup cooking, I guess, just to pass the time. Fuck.
Yeah, don't let yourself die. I mean, I'm fine. We can still keep chatting. I'll just have to. My audience will have to look at the screen for several minutes. Sorry, folks.
Holy God.
If you're this far in, though, you're in for the long haul. And if not, well, thanks for watching to this point.
That can't be the island, right? No, there's no way.
What makes you think there's no way?
Yeah, there's no way. Well, for one thing, it looks rather small from a distance, but also because the radar is like, it's 760 meters away, and I can see this rather close. I'll get as I get closer, I'll probably be able to have more of an idea of what kind of island it is, and if it's a big one, I'll stop to look for you. But no,
It
this
was
looks quite
very
small.
wide, but I don't remember if it was super tall. You'd know more than I did, but I don't remember. Well, it had an albatross though, but then some of the smaller ones have as well.
Yeah,
I have an option on my screen in addition to surrender and respawn. I also have one that says unstuck.
good
I don't know what that.
question.
Yeah, I have
I
no
don't.
idea what that means.
That's a risk.
I maybe it says unstuck because my body fell into a crevice or something, and the game just
I
assumes that. Yeah, go ahead.
that is a big risk. It might be though that it's like, oh, you died so fucking far away from the raft.
Maybe. I now that I have a functional cell phone, let me look it up. While you continue the rescue mission, I'll see what we can see.
Yeah, over here we're currently going against the wind, so we're not going at any particular speed.
Okay. Let's see. We can also, as I wait for Google to kick in and so forth, I can also say that to finish what I was saying, the kids were asked who they would like to see play them as adults, and to my memory, most of the ones who provided a selection did in fact get the people they wanted to get. I know that the actress who played Beverly said she wanted to see
Bryce
oh,
Dallas
what's her name?
Howard?
No, no, that would have been a really good guess though. No, not a good guess rather, but a good suggestion. She looked like to me she looked like a dead ringer for young Amy Adams. I was surprised she didn't
Oh,
pick
Jessica
her.
Chastain.
Yeah, she went with Chastain, which I thought she's a good actress, but I was like, wow, I do not see that at all. Whereas to me, Amy Adams looked to me, I thought like a legit like an older version. I would only later find out that she in fact did play Amy Adams' daughter in a previous film. So I was like, well, it wrote itself. What the fuck? Um, but yeah, she chose Chastain. It was Chastain. They actually they went to Chastain specifically because they said the actor requested you, and she was like, "Oh yeah, cool, I'll do it." Similarly, Eddie picked Richie rather picked a little guy Finn Wolfhard. Finn Wolfhard. He requested Bill Hader, and he got him.
And that's another odd one, because they don't really look all that much alike.
Mm, no, no, they really don't.
Bill Hader's a weird looking guy. There's not a lot of people that look like him.
He's weird looking in a way that I think is handsome, whereas Finn Wolfhard, God bless him, he's wretchedly ugly. That poor kid. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the similarities at all. I believe at least the actor for Ben and or Mike. I think they also got their selection as well. But
So,
Stan,
so
the
the
Jewish kid,
so the kid that played Mike was like, it'd be really funny. I'm gonna answer the Old Spice guy,
if
and
I
they're like, "We
I
got
want
you,
to be a
brother."
stud. Hey, that might have been what happened. I'd have to look and see if he actually got his wish.
Like, could you imagine if the kid that played Mike answered Brad Pitt? They come
Would
back in the
have
next movie. Mike, you got pale.
been.
You okay,
Vitiligo. How you guys doing?
man?
Either that or I don't know. Oh, Pennywise just made you guys forget. I always look like this.
Like, do they at some point, like, it shows his fucking barn and the real Mike is buried somewhere in there? Brad Pitt's killed him and assumed his identity.
That'd be a whole different movie.
For
An interesting one.
fuck's sakes.
Uh, I will look them both up, both of these scenarios. But the first one I'm looking up here is the unstuck situation.
Yeah, that's the bigger priority for
Yeah,
the moment.
yeah. I was
Because this is like the wind is going fully against me here.
well. Don't
I,
get too excited because my assumption was correct. It is an easy way to get free when player is stuck in an object. Well, I
okay,
wonder
but what
though.
does it
Then
do? But what does it
right. Well,
do?
that yeah. Let's see.
Because if it still teleports you back to the tent and the raft, then that's fine.
When used on land, the unstuck button will teleport you to a safe location. When used in the water, the unstuck button will teleport you to the raft. I'm going for it. I have nothing to
Go
lose.
for it, yeah.
Teleport to safe location. Well, what's the worst that can happen?
Your
Ah, it's
computer
still
blows
waiting for
up.
rescue. Yep. No, I was Man, I would say 1 foot at least was in that fucking water. I mean, I was going into the water further. Like I came barely out of the water to finish stabbing the boar. And when I say out of the water, I mean like again like a foot out of the water, 1 foot, physical foot. Uh, and then yeah, the boar started to slide into the water, and I got more immersed in the water, and then I died. So, I call bullshit on this one game. I was in the water, but I can see from my like I'm actually seeing the sand. I can see that they put me in the on land. So
Yeah.
it was worth a try. We didn't lose anything, so that's the good part. Yeah, it's a bummer it didn't put me on the raft. That would have been perfect. I mean, just apparently a couple feet different than I would have been on the raft right now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
shit.
Well, you continue to look. That gives me more time to look up the it situation. I'm not too sure I like this defaulting to an option to install TikTok. I think you guys got the wrong audience on that one.
I'm not sure there is the right audience right now. The bill just passed through the House and will now be passing to the others, I assume the Senate,
To ban it, right?
to ban it, yes.
You know, I'm sure it's because of the Chinese spy thing. Really, I am just all in favor of banning anything that makes the population stupid. So I'm more than happy to see TikTok go.
Oh boy, it's gonna be. Wait. Well, the joke that Ted and Soon were laughing at was like, it's only acceptable to spy on your customers if you're Chinese, by the way. I mean, it's
Yeah.
only unacceptable to spy on your customers if you're Chinese, rather. There we go.
Ah, okay.
Facebook, that's cool. He's American, brother.
All right, losers. How would I even say this? Losers Club actor requests. It gets tricky to look up things for the movie It because it is such a mundane
Yeah.
word. Yeah.
Honestly, you probably want to put in it parenthesis 2017 or something like that.
Yeah. I was hoping that this would be enough. I'm not sure. Well, this might be it. Let me see. Casting call: The Adult Losers Club in It sequel. That's probably actually just going to tell me who the cast wound up being. Oh, this is one person's dream list. I'm going to dwell on that for a second. What does this one person's dream list suggest? Who do they think the people should be?
Bunch of stupid bullshit.
Michael Shannon is Henry Bowers. Oh, I could
Henry
see
was
that.
Henry was the fat one, right?
No, Henry was the bully.
Yeah. It's a little bit. That's a little bit typecast, though. That's not an
You think so?
inspired choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Michael
Yeah,
Shannon
yeah,
always plays
you're right.
psychos. And to be honest, a lot of the times where I've liked Michael Shannon best is when he's not playing psychos.
Yeah, you guys still need to see that movie. Take Shelter. It's a movie where he's seeing things and he feels the need to build an underground bunker in his yard to escape what he feels is the oncoming apocalypse. And it's all about, well, is he right or is he going insane? And it's a very slow burn, but it was really good performance. Really, really good performance. I would recommend anyone who likes Michael Shannon check it out.
Yeah, I quite like Michael Shannon. Off the top of my head, I've only seen him in 3 roles, but I've liked him in all of them.
Yeah, he's a good actor, definitely. He's underutilized.
Yeah. Well, we know why, because Hollywood's vain.
Why? What's his particular deal?
Because he's not what's the word? He's not
Like,
conventionally handsome.
yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, he looks like a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. This person suggests Amy Adams as Beverly Marsh. Correct. Ravishing fucking picture of Amy Adams accompanying that suggestion. So thanks for that.
Oh, both of them from Man of Steel. That's funny.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. You're right. Jeremy Renner as Ben, the one who started fat
A
and
lot of
got thin
superhero
and
picks
handsome.
here. This person is young.
Yeah, maybe. Let me see what else they pick. Jay Baruchel? Baruchel?
Oh, the comedian. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it says. As Stan, the Jewish kid. I don't. I don't see it.
Again, that's typecast.
Is it? Okay.
Jay Baruchel always plays the awkward Jewish kid.
Oh, okay. Then that's a predictable choice, apparently.
Yeah. Not some inspired picks here.
Sterling K. Brown as Mike.
Sterling K. Brown. Who's that?
He was in The People versus OJ and the hit television show This Is Us. I can't say I'm familiar with him.
Ah, shit. The name rings a bell, but who is it? I'll have to look it up
That's all it.
myself.
Yeah, Sterling K. Brown.
Oh, I recognize that face. Son of a bitch.
He does look familiar to me, but I think he's just got a familiar face. I don't think I've seen him in anything.
He was in Black Panther.
Okay.
Received an Emmy nomination for his role in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't remember him in that.
Oh, okay. Well,
What?
he's keeping busy.
Oh, shit! He's Man-Ape!
Oh, okay.
I think. Hang on.
I
He's in...
I don't know.
Oh, no, no, no. He's not. I got the names. Hang on. What was Man-Ape's real name? Because he's never called Man-Ape in the MCU for obvious reasons.
I was gonna say that's wow.
M'Baku. Right, yes.
Oh,
M'Baku is a
okay.
very cool guy, but I was very confused because this guy looks skinny. I was like, no, M'Baku's a fucking giant of a man. No,
Ah,
he is Njobu, who is a very important character, but only appears in one scene.
okay.
Shit. Would there be... Like, I wouldn't have remembered him because it's just one scene. And like I said, it's a very important scene, but it's not really a one where the character's going to strike you.
Yeah, it
And
happens.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he was only in one episode, The Box. Have I seen this one? No, I've not seen this one. That would be a later season, so I didn't see the later seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
All right.
I am very slowly closing in on the island.
Oh, good. All right. That's my dead corpse isn't in a hurry.
If it was, I'd ask a lot of questions.
Yeah. First one being, why did you need me to save you?
Yeah.
You're Lazarus. You have the power to do anything. You don't need me to come rescue you. The other requests for actors were just either like super overly popular, like they wanted Ewan McGregor as Bill, as grown Bill, the stutterer, which I can sort of see a resemblance there, but other than that, yeah, that's just like overly fantasy, like fantasy
Yeah.
booking basically. Like that's like shooting too high in a way, if that makes any sense.
I
Like he's
love
too
Ian
popular for
McGregor,
other
but he'd be
things.
fine for any role.
Yeah, I mean he's a good actor. It's one of those things to where it's like, well, he's so
He was
like
in
not that it
Star
would be beneath
Wars.
him to be in it. Yeah, well, it's just like he's so defined by other roles. I think it would be like intrusive to have him as a part of what's the word for it? An ensemble.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't usually suffer from that, but I'm gonna be honest. The entirety of it, part two, every time Richie was on screen, I was going, "That's Bill Hader."
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say that I didn't also feel the same. I quickly got over it
Well, you
and
know what it
like
is?
let it in, but
If the whole cast is recognizable faces, then it's easier to put up with. But most of the Losers Club as adults were not super recognizable. But then if I saw Jessica Chastain or Bill Hader, I was taken out of it because it's like normal people, and then Jessica Chastain and Bill Hader, and it's like, what the fuck?
yeah.
These are not normal people. These are celebrities.
Yeah, I felt the same way about Jessica Chastain. Granted, I would have felt the same with Amy Adams, I guess, but at least in that case, I thought it was a way more specific resemblance. Whereas with Chastain, because I didn't see much of a resemblance other than the fact that, I mean, like facially, the structure, they didn't look anything alike. They just happened to both be redheads.
Yeah.
And I think Jessica Chastain's pretty, but I'm laughing because I remember Ted said that she looks like Skeletor. I'll never forget that. And that was kind of playing in my head. I remember thinking, well, I don't think of the young girl who played young Beverly in the movies as looking anything like a young Skeletor. So it's like I can't, yeah, that
It
helped to
did seem like there was a
further.
tremendous age jump there, more than I was anticipating, right?
Yeah, yeah. I just don't see that one. I didn't see it at all. Um, Yeah, Jessica was to me again, since there wasn't the same like again, like I was saying, Amy Adams would have stood out to me as, oh, this is a celebrity. I'll have to look past that and see it as older Beverly. But with Jessica Chastain, I couldn't really see older Beverly. I just saw Jessica Chastain in the It sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't. I mean, her performance was fine. I mean, everything was fine. I just didn't. I couldn't. I couldn't look past it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very similar for me and Bill Hader.
Yeah,
Like I was
I could
surprised
see
because
already.
I'm not used to liking Bill Hader. I think his comedy delivery is too over the top and too reliant on just making goofy faces, like pretty well everyone from his generation of SNL, really. But I thought, hey, this is actually Bill Hader's not bad in a dramatic role. He should really
I
do
thought he
this
was
instead
good.
of comedy.
Yeah, I actually thought he was one of the better parts of the movie.
And Bill evidently agreed because he then went on to make that very successful TV show that I forget the name of. Barry, when he made that Barry that everybody loved.
I don't know it. That's actually what helped me to buy Bill Hader in the role because I know who he is, I know what he looks like, but I've never seen any of his stuff, so I was able to just kind of accept the face.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble here finding the thing where they pick who they want to be. Because I see here, okay, here's who was chosen, here's who I think that should be. No, like I want to see, I want to hear like who their actual specific choices were because I saw that video. So where is it? Why is it so hard to find?
I'm gonna be real here. I know one play. I think I've read this before and I found one place where it does list it off, but it's not. I don't remember if they source it, but TV tropes. If you've ever been to TV tropes actually I think does list this off under the trivia section.
I'll look now.
I
TV
could be
trope.
wrong, but I'm pretty sure because I want to say TV tropes has a specific section for that sort of phenomenon. Because that's also where I found out that when they were doing Scarface: The World Is Yours, Al Pacino specifically chose Andre Sogliuzzo as the impersonator to play him in that game.
Okay, yeah, I did read that happened. In fact, that Pacino for some reason didn't do the game, but he specifically chose who was or who did,
Yeah,
I should say.
yeah, and when they did Payday 2, when they got the license to put Scarface to put Tony Montana in the game, they went to the trouble of hiring Andre Sogliuzzo again.
Yeah, yeah, you were saying that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I found the page, and I heard your character. Oh, I got the option to be unstuck again. Let's see. Will this change anything? I
Is your
wonder if it's
character
saying unstuck
slipping?
because I don't know. I wouldn't see why they. I mean, I don't know why they would. I'm almost thinking that the game maybe thinks that like, okay, well, he's not moving, and he wouldn't be just sitting there dead for that long, so he must be stuck. Teleport? Yes. I. That's not the raft, is it? I see what looks like a solid structure.
Oh, you're back!
Oh, all right.
Thank God, because apparently the wind had
Yeah.
picked up enough that I was moving in the opposite direction away from the island.
Wow. That's some dumb fucking luck. Thank you for that feature.
Good Lord.
That was awesome. I would be more excited, but I have to be
Well,
kind of quiet because somebody's
when you open the door, it causes you to drop the fucking person.
It's hard to lift a body and open a door at the same time.
It's because they're on the same key.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Uh,
That's crazy that worked.
where's the bed?
It's just on the main portion of the upper floor, like the
Okay.
outdoor portion or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. There you go. Good Lord, you can now play the game.
Yeah, it's been a while. Haha, cool. That is so fucking weird how that all that whole process is very very. Oh my god, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, you can,
Wow.
dude. The experience of sailing this ship alone instead of with two other people was surreal.
I would imagine after all this to suddenly be by yourself. Yeah, literally in the middle of nowhere. It is just there's no land in sight in any direction.
Yeah, the only island we have on the radar is the one you were dead on.
Can we still see how far away it was?
Yeah, come up here and click on it.
Would it be the one that's?
783 meters.
Ooh, that's that sounds closer than it should be though. That sounds like it's 2,000 feet. It'd be
I
physical.
can't see it in the distance, brother.
No, yeah, that's roughly about 2,300 feet. Yeah, that I don't know. Yeah, weird, weird. Yeah, I mean, as
On
I look
that
around,
note, I suppose we should probably go ahead and wrap it up, as I should probably get to sleep soon. Oh, Jesus. Good Lord, what
well,
obsession.
that was. I mean, if this is the end of the episode, it ended on an interesting note.
Yeah, I wanted to get you back before wrapping it up, but eyelids are starting to get a little bit heavy over here.
Yeah, fair enough. I should have been in bed a long time ago, actually. In about 4 hours. Wow. Yeah, in about 4 hours it'll be 36 for me. So I'm, yep,
Good Lord.
going to, yep, 32 hours. Wait, let me do the math right. I'm kind of tired, so I'm not sure if I'll get it right. I was up at 6 p.m. No. Fuck. When did I get to bed? Yeah, no, yeah. I was up at 6 p.m. Not yesterday, but the night before. 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
Jesus.
I can't do math right, but yeah, yeah. Either way, I didn't get up at 6 p.m. yesterday night. Uh, Tonight, whatever. I fuck it. I've been up a long time. That's I know that much.
Long time, yes.
Lo- So long that I can't even think straight. Um, but before we go, has the shark ever bit like the whole time you
No.
were? Really?
The entire time that you were off the boat, the shark never bit. I think the fortified boat pieces are just immune to shark.
That would be really, really nice.
That'd be really nice, and here's the thing. Not only does that mean that we are going to be spending much less wood and plastic to maintain the ship, that to me also gives the indication of there is no maximum limit on the ship.
Uh, why? Why is that?
Well, before we didn't want to build a ship too big because the shark would get to it.
Right.
Well, the shark won't get to this.
S- Probably because it's late and I'm not thinking straight. Why does that suggest to you that there's no limit on the no limit on the size of the ship? That's what you're saying?
Well, maybe there's eventually a time where you hit it and the game just has some other mechanism that says no stop. But, like, the reason that we were not building the ship out further was because there was only so much we could manage before the shark was just getting free roam of eating any part of the ship that he wants. But if we can keep fortifying where we expand the boat to, how big can we make this motherfucker?
maybe maybe we should just start a single square, a single grid, just one, and just extend it farther and farther and farther and farther, just straight out in one direction, just to see how far it can go before
Well,
the
what
game
I'm
says
thinking
nah.
is the boat's already a bit longer than it is wide, right?
Uh-oh. I sense a plan coming.
Well, what if we built it like a ship in real life, which ships in real life are longer than they are wide by quite a bit?
That's true. That's
So what
true.
we
I
would
mean,
do, if we wanted to test how long we could build it, is keep placing tiles out from this direction and fortifying them so the
right.
shark can't eat them. And that'll give us an idea not only of how long is permitted, but also what guidelines to build the ship along.
Sorry, you kind of got quiet there, but also what guidelines what?
To build the ship along.
Hmm.
And you can
It's an
see the
interesting
upper decks,
idea.
we're already starting to build the ship like a fucking old school colonial ship.
I was actually thinking about that earlier. Yeah, it's actually becoming like a. I mean, it's really taken on its own character. It's not just a floating raft anymore. It's becoming a ship with decks and so forth. Did you actually have an opportunity to go into that bedroom I made?
When I was trying to find the bed for you, yes. I didn't get to take too much of a look because I was too panicked, but it looked pretty nice in there, what I did see.
Thanks. Yeah, I tried to make it cozy. I still had more work to do, but yeah, there's a really awesome big couch that you can lay on, and There's a porta potty basically. There's a privy,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's a long dresser, nice couch, a nice table. Yeah, I was working on making it cozy. Seemed like nice crew quarters. But that being the case, it's like, wow, yeah, we could probably, I mean, if the shark isn't going to bite anymore, which it seems like he's not, then there's no reason why we can't just expand the ship as long as we want to make it. The only problem, though, is that if we do that just for our own inconvenience, it would be kind of rough to have a long distance to cover between everything.
Yeah, I assume that we do it like either there'd just be some parts of the ship that we just are empty or pass through, but I assume we'd find purposes for each part of the ship.
Man, could you imagine that? Like this raft, this slash raft slash ship, having like walled in like roofed corridors and stuff, like actual hallways with rooms off to the sides of them. That'd be kind of crazy. It would
It
also be
would, yeah.
very unwieldy. It would be kind of tricky. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing saying we can't. I guess it'd be kind of funny to try.
It's a plan to make for next time.
You'll have to see what Pink thinks about this. He's usually all for whatever we come up with, so I think he'd probably be down for it.
I mean, no matter what, I think Pink's gonna be happy because he's gonna come back to find I left for him fishing bait and an air horn. So
That's all he needs to be happy, huh?
yeah,
Just silly things. Fair enough. Yeah, that's something to think about. Now that we've apparently discovered this, I will also go online to confirm it to see if this is just a new thing now that it will simply just prevent the shark from ever becoming a problem again.
holy
Let
shit!
me see.
Like
Yeah,
we're getting to the point now. The seagull turned off by the ceilings. Shark turned off by
right.
the fortifications. Hunger and thirst not turned off, but vastly mitigated by the soup and the juicer and the milk.
Yeah,
Like, we're getting to the point where we're getting all this stuff down where we don't have the needs to worry about so much more that it's going to turn into expansion.
I mean that's really kind of the only way it can go.
Yeah,
I mean that's the only direction left.
all we have to
And yeah,
go is up.
yeah, basically yeah, up and out. Oops, fell in the water by accident. The shark's gonna eat me here, and I'm gonna die again. There I go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I jumped into
starved
the
for wood
water.
pieces. He's gonna have to go for us.
Yeah, I jumped in on purpose. I didn't mean to stay in as long as I did to get beaten up there for a minute, but I jumped in on purpose just to make sure. Like, is he still here? And yeah, he's still there, still floating around, swimming around rather.
Yeah,
I
probably
I,
just
I guess.
looking at the ship very angrily and impotently.
Feels pretty good to say, hey man, fuck off. What
Yeah.
can you do now? I mean, cause yeah, the way I
Hey
played
man, we're
before.
marks for this ship.
I mean, my memory is that it used to be that those things. I think even in the description, like that, like it's defensive. It makes it harder for the shark to chew off pieces, but it never to my memory ward the shark off altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty great. That's actually really great. That's fantastic. We've been wanting something like that for a long time.
This is effectively now, like, with all of this put in now, this ship is a guaranteed perpetual motion machine.
I guess it really is. Yeah, I mean it's self-sustaining and apparently invincible.
We are now the terror of the high seas.
Well, then whether we have to build at least a pirate ship, if not a giant fucking, I don't know, barge.
Yeah, we're building a galleon.
Yeah,
Well, we're
I
probably
mean, I
gonna
guess
end up with something closer to like a sloop, but yeah, it's close enough.
I think we're already bigger than a sloop. I don't know what the exact standards are, but we're pretty big. Sloops are, to my
That's
memory, not really a whole lot bigger than a canoe.
oh, that might be true. What were a riverboat? Well, there's like a large
We're a
riverboat
lot like a
though.
riverboat. Yeah, I think riverboat's accurate. We just don't have the big wheel.
Yeah. Hmm. Either way, Jesus, we've got some progress to make. And next time, and by the way, I found out something while we were talking. I want you to come up and look at this. Come up to the radar.
No way.
So I noticed, turn on the radar, and we got the blue dot, which is the oil derrick, and we can see it at all times. I guess that's just the base of the
Oh,
world. What I noticed was, if I futz with this number over here, you see how there's like a crosshairs on the oil derrick on the blue dot?
yeah.
crosshairs off when I change the number.
Interesting.
What I'm wondering, do I have to like sit here one day and experiment with the numbers until it finds me a new blue crosshair island?
I I don't know. Because obviously you're given the option for a reason, and what would that reason be if I mean, what else would there be? Just hitting the button to uncrosshair the island? What purpose would that serve? So it's got to do something else.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is like, is that to find the radio frequency to the other plot islands?
Maybe it is.
Which means we should keep an eye out
Decrease.
for numbers.
Yeah, it says decrease number. Decrease number. Yeah, that almost sounds like you're looking for frequencies. Switch number. Decrease number. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're putting in different frequencies. 6178, 5178. And then let's say switch this to 6278. Interesting. Yeah, I guess you can just putz around with this until maybe you yeah, apparently yeah, I guess what you're doing is you're switching the numbers and then it's casting out radar to look and see if there's anything I guess God, I don't know. It's obviously something that's in our control.
There we go.
Very good.
We do it.
If there was one more digit, it would be 42069.
Oh yeah. Sex number.
People are so say drug number and sex number, dude. Yeah. Idiots. I hate people.
If there was one that was named 0000, I think we would be concerned. That's probably the ghost ship.
That'd be awesome.
It would be.
Still,
At the same time,
yeah,
we'd die.
probably. I'm still holding out hope that it'll happen, though. I want there to be some kind of. I mean, it'd be kind of a wasted opportunity in this game.
There
if there
was a
not
section
some kind
earlier
of.
where the music abruptly stopped for no reason, and it was very misty at night, and I was like, wait, did we make this happen? Is it gonna happen?
Really?
Fucking Kraken. Oh, shit.
The music abruptly stopped? That's interesting.
Yeah, nothing wound up happening. It's just the music abruptly stopped.
Oh, that is creepy.
All
Makes you
right.
wonder.
I'm going to go ahead and call it here. How are you feeling?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a good enough time. We've had this for a while, and it ended with a dramatic semi-rescue. So
And
I
plans
think
for the
that's it.
future.
Yeah, yeah, we have a goal.
Yeah.
No, I think it's as good as time as any.